G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. This will be my Knackers Yard. Hopefully a bit of a quickie. This is midweek, I've got a day off, it's half term. So this is a mini project that I'm going to be dipping in and out of, like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, because I've got kids and things to look after. I'm still going through the electrolysis on the tank. I should get the tappets today, tomorrow, so I should be able to play with those this weekend at some point, which would be nice. I have lost count of how many times I've done the tank, i.e. clean the anode, I want to say, i.e. clean the sacrificial bit of metal that hangs out the top. Still quite coldy, but just as an indicator of how we're getting on, it is still kicking out. It's still going strong. Just get this going in the background throughout the day as well. I've lost track of how many times this has been in and out, but we are still getting rust, nowhere near as much as we were before, but we're still getting it. And this is like tin now, bearing in mind it was what, 1 mil. It's now, yeah, probably, I'll clean it off and I'll give it a measure actually. I won't clean it off yet, it's a bit early, but we're still going on that, and I'll just keep that going in the background throughout. On Ivan, on my day ride, and I said winterization pretty much complete. One of you guys said, why don't you get a windscreen now? Cunningly enough, I tried. Now, this is a 2010 model. It does change. I think it's 2011 it changes. And it's the little, like, beluga whale bulge, which is the clocks that changes. That's when I used to have a GoPro on there. I haven't really put it on there for a little while. I went online and paid, I think, £7 from a China and got a windshield for it, which I thought doesn't look too bad. But it doesn't mount because it's got the mounts for the newer model. So it's just been chucked in the back of the garage. I've got the bolts for it. But what I thought was, looking at the proper ones for it, which were about 90 quid, they come off the stem, they come off the bars, so I got some cheapy adapters, which again was £7 I think. Test fitted one last night, had a look, so the gap, probably easier to show on the other one, it doesn't fit, but I think I can make it fit, I think is the summary. So the stems leading on are too wide, they're also at the wrong angle. So I think what I'm going to attempt to do is just get these roughly mounted, get both of them roughly mounted. I strapped one on last night in the dark just to see if it fitted, and where it fitted, because I was thoroughly expecting to just drill new holes and maybe fill those or maybe do them. It doesn't really matter, it's only a winter thing really. But I think I can reach those if I change the brackets. Now I've got some steel lying around. Let me see what I can hash together. I'm just going to chuck this one on as well, get the frame roughly in place, and then work out what I need to do with a bit of cardboard engineering. So that's kind of going to be my project throughout the day, dipping in and out. So right, let me get this one on and we'll work out how indeed if it fits. If it doesn't fit, I'll just take it off and carry on without. It's only a tiny windscreen, it's not going to make a shed load of difference, but you know, why the hell not? Right, let's get on with it. Right, I've saved you from a lot of cocking around with cardboard. I like working with cardboard because when you get it wrong, you can just bin it and go again. And all you need is scissors and a hole punch. So I have a bracket. It's all very loose because, well, it is. But essentially, that's what I end up with, which I'm happy enough with. Actually, yeah, so that's, I'll just the brackets themselves are loose, which is why it's moving around quite so much. But broadly, I had to open up the holes to get the wedges through, and I've got some cereal packet brackets. I'm still snotty. I can't shift it. So essentially, it's a bit of a double bend round. I went large. Obviously, they can get trimmed and smartened and this, that, and the other. So what I'm going to do is whip those off, have a bit of a trim and a bit of paper, mark out the bends, trim them off, and then see if I can do something similar in steel, which will be fun. Okay, so a fair amount of cocking around later. I got first dry fit on, so I've transferred my brackets to metal. I'm actually quite impressed with myself there. I'm not a particularly good fabricator, and they're okay. Obviously they'll get painted at some point or another, but they actually match, which is unheard of for me. Now that's too high at the moment, in my humble opinion. It's quite. I've nipped it up a little bit. I need to drop it some, and it's really going to be dictated by how much some I can get out the bracket there. But I just need to drop it a little bit more, a little bit of finagling. Obviously that's going to get painted at some point. I'm out of black paint. That's unheard of for me. So I ordered some a couple of days ago actually, because I realised it, because I was forward thinking like that. So I'm just going to have a bit of a finagle and see if I can make that feel a little bit better. But actually, I'm all right. I'm happy with that. It might stop a bit of wind. I don't know, but fundamentally, I had it, and we'll see how it goes. Right, let me have a play. I'll see if I can make it work a bit better. I think I've finished finagling. So I've dropped it to about the nib of there, which I think works. Aesthetically it works. I mean, it probably physically works as high as possible, but frankly, if it looks shit, it is shit. So I've nipped it all up. I do need to paint these once I've got some black paint on the way. Let me drag the bike out, and we can have a look at, collectively we can look at how bad it looks. Putting fairing on a non-faired bike. But it's kind of it's for a purpose. It's just to give me a little bit more protection in these. It's raining just to prove a point. I think that looks all right actually. It's nice and solid. I have, when it was all loose, put some industrial Velcro that I fucking live by, frankly. Heavy duty stiff-on Velcro, just to, for one, stop it, or to stop it, to inhibit it peeling back. But more than anything else, for those that have faired bikes rattle like bastards and vibrate. So I just thought a bit of padding to stop it from hitting the existing plastic can only be a good thing. Now this is a winter fix. This is for exactly conditions like this, to try and give me a little bit more protection than I would necessarily otherwise have. But that's pretty good, I think. And yeah, I'm actually looking at fabrication that looks symmetrical, which is just frankly fucking amazing for me. Yeah, I am cool with that. I am very cool with that. Right, so I'm not sure if I'll put this out as a vid in itself, or if I'll paint them, then do it for then push them out. Oh, poxy cold. I also want to drop a bit of black on the bolt heads as well, just to blend them in a little bit. But yeah, I'm happy with that. My continued looks a bit predatorish now. It's gone from Roberto from Futurama to something slightly predator-esque. And if you've been watching Hudson's View of stuff, You probably recognise it. That'll do. I mean, I've no idea if it'll make a difference. Today's ideal weather to test it, but I can't be asked. It's a commute bike. I'm not commuting. I'm at home. Yeah, it's probably just a winter thing, to be honest. But anyway, for at least one of you guys that said, what about a windshield? I don't want to go full extension because it turns it into a scooter and looks awful. But I had that. It cost me bugger all. The mounting bolts cost me about the same again. I was convinced I'd have to drill more holes and fill them in and paint, etc. So I'm really quite chuffed that I've managed to do it off the original mountings for it. But yeah, we will see how that works. Like I say, I'll chuck some black on my slightly bodged fabricated brackets. But no, I was chuffed. Right, I need to go. I think build a castle with the kids. Those with kids, you'll acknowledge these weird tasks over any break period, but that'll do. That'll do. Kind of like it. I might even go black on. Oh, shut up, you bell end. Just walk away and leave it. I'll see how it works. If it makes a difference, I'll let you know. Cheers all. I'll catch you later on. Ta-da. Right, there we go. I have managed to find enough black paint just to cover it. And I think we're good to go. Right, I don't know if it'll be my next upload, but you'll see that on a commute and we'll see if it actually makes any difference at all. But when it comes down to it, for what, £18–19 total cost, plus some random bits of spray that I had kicking around, that'll do. We'll see if it offers me any more protection. Just looks a little bit predator-esque. Cheers all, I'll catch you later. Ta-da. The next day, in a bit of an epilogue really, I looked at the screen and thought it's the wrong angle, so I've hoiked it back quite a lot. It was too vertical. I tried to follow the line of the light, which I did, but it just didn't look right. It looked too vertical, you know, like the scooters with the massive screen or something. It kind of, I got vibes of that, so I've pushed it back a lot. And I think that looks a lot better now. Now it's, you know, a little bit back from the light of the headlight, but I think that looks better. Right, let's put it away and get on with Daryl, I suppose. Well, when the postie arrives anyway. Cheers again. Ta-da.